I love having a few snacks while I'm working, but I hate greasy fingerprints on my keyboard. So the first gadget I'm going to try out today is this. They came as a pack of 4, and they're finger chopsticks which slide in between your fingers like this. And they claim they allow you to snack whilst keeping your keyboard clean and without interrupting your work. And I really hope they work because just a minute ago I found this. It looked like a massive cheesy puff and I thought I'd lucked out. I was just about to eat it, then half of it fell, making a mess on my computer. Then I realised it was just a clump of the powdered flavouring used as a coating. It was greasy and really disgusting. So I really hope these finger chopsticks are going to be life-changing, or have I wasted my money again? They're pretty comfortable actually, and you can definitely carry on using your keyboard, or maybe a phone, whilst wearing them. I'm going to test them out with these sweet chili crisps, or chips, which have got a powdery coating. Then we'll try them out on these crispy pretzels. After that, we'll try it with these stuffed olives, which are a bit greasy, and if it succeeds with all of those, I've got something else to try it with too. So, here I am working away, and I'm ready for a snack, and hey, check it out! I've picked up a crisp. It grips it pretty well, to be honest, and it is quite fun. But how about pretzels? Yeah, look at that. I can pick them up or move them around. They're actually quite controllable. But what about these slightly oily olives? These are a little bit more challenging, but oh yeah, look, nailed it. But one thing I noticed straight after was I don't think they close properly anymore. They're not touching at the end. I must have bent them a little bit while I was clamping the fatter olive. And that means if I try and pick up something thin like a crisp, yeah, look, it falls straight through. Oh no. But what if I want to eat my lunch while I'm working? I bought one of these sushi snack packs. But will they all fall apart when I try and pick them up? I'll start with the smallest one. I can just about get a hold of it and yes! You can see the rice is starting to crack, but I think the seaweed layer wrapped around is holding it together. Now let's try one of these bigger bits. I can't even open my fingers wide enough to get the sticks around it. I'll have to go in from the side. Yeah, I think I've got it. Oh dear, I can probably just about grab this bit now. Yeah, I've got that. But you've got to be really careful not to break up the outer layer of rice. And as for one of these, I can just about grab hold of that. Maybe sushi is a bit too much, but I did really enjoy using them for snacks. You can also use them to keep your device or controller clean if you're doing some gaming. You could use them with a phone, a tablet, or maybe even when playing a musical instrument. So although they're a bit of a gimmick, I'm going to put these in the useful category. Now, sometimes I get important documents which contain private information, but I haven't got a shredder to dispose of them. That's why I bought this. It's an ID protection stamp. Apparently, it obscures sensitive and personal information on documents, like names, addresses, and bank details. But I've never used one, so let's see if it works. Okay, so here's the stamp. This looks like a removable cover, and this looks like a roller. Oh, blimey, it's already covered in ink. What a wally. I'll have to wash my finger. It looks a little bit like these are removable covers, but they don't seem to come off. It also came with these, and according to the instructions, they're ink refills. And when you run out, you pour them down through this hole here, straight into the roller. So if I try it out onto a piece of blank paper, oh wow, check that out! It's like a whole ribbon of confidential text. Pretty cool, huh? But how well will it work on obscuring private data? I printed out some fake documents so we can try it out. First up, let's try the name and address. Okay, I've probably done that the wrong direction actually, but it seems to have covered it. Now, if I want to get rid of all of this... Yeah, look at that. That's got to be impossible to read what's underneath. I'll try it on a few more documents. And what's nice is you can be selective on the bits that you want to cover over. You don't need to cover the entire document, which will save you ink. And I've got to be honest, again, this is a fun little gadget to use. And if we take a closer look, I definitely don't think you'd be able to read what's underneath. But if you're worried, you could always go over it twice. I love this gadget, and I'm definitely going to put it in the useful category. This is dust cleaning slime, and apparently I can use it for cleaning my computer keyboard. I'm not sure I believe it, but I'm going to risk trying it out. It feels just like an ordinary slime for playing with. It's sticky and slimy, nice and stretchy, and a little bit wet. My keyboard is covered in dust, all over the keys and down in between them. But here goes. Apparently we just take the cleaning gel, sit it down on the top, and roll it back and forward. This feels like a terrible idea, but check it out. It's definitely cleaning. It kind of peels itself back off, and it gets all the way down into the little nooks. It's picked up all the dust. I'm impressed. That's done a really good job. I'm so impressed, I'm going to risk trying it in the car. First I'm going to try cleaning the air vents. I want to pick up all the dust on the fins. It's working nicely. I'm keeping it moving to make sure it doesn't seep down into the vent. That could be a disaster. I'm also trying it over the buttons here and over the screen, and it's made a really big difference. There's no dust left at all, and as long as I keep it moving, it feels quite safe to use, and it's actually really quick at cleaning these awkward places. I'm definitely putting this in the useful category too. If you're enjoying the video, I've got loads more coming soon, so make sure you're subscribed because you won't want to miss them. And who knows, maybe with your help, one day we'll get this channel to 10 million subscribers. That would be amazing. Now, inside here we've got something that can fix one of the most annoying problems that happens while you're cooking. But can you guess what this is, just by looking at it? It's this hard plastic tray with a cool little figure that clips on here. Any ideas what it's for? Well, it's actually a saucepan lid holder. So if you've got dirty or hot saucepan lids that you need to put somewhere while you're cooking, this gadget is supposed to solve that problem. I'm going to test it with different sized lids. This small lid is 6.5 inches diameter. If I put it down this way, oh, it covers the guy a bit. Try it the other way. And it kind of works. The handle's sitting on his head though, it's not resting against his hands. It doesn't seem all that stable. This lid is 8 inches diameter. If I place it on this way, oh blimey, that does not feel secure at all. Nah, that's no good. Turn it around the other way and, well, yeah, that actually seems pretty good. It feels quite secure, and it's resting against his little arms like it should. That actually looks really cool. This lid is the same size, but it's a different shape. Oh, that's at a really bad angle. And if I try the other way round, again, it's just sitting on his hat. It's a little bit wobbly, not very secure. But now let's try this large 9.5 inch diameter lid. That's terrible. Turn it around this way and, yeah, okay, that works. But I do find it a bit odd having to turn it around, and it's awkward to do having to twist your arm over the top. You can of course just turn the gadget the other way round, but then you don't really get to see the little man from the front, which is a shame. Although this back part of the tray can be used as a rest for dirty utensils, so maybe it should be this way around. So I will put this in the useful category, although it does depend a little bit on the size of your pan lid. Next I'm going to try out this really cool looking drinks dispenser. It looks so simple, but is it too good to be true? Here's the actual gadget. On the top here is a lever for the tap, and on the other end is a threaded hole for the bottle. And in here there's a little washer for sealing it. It feels a little bit flimsy, but let's see if it actually works. So to use it, I just remove this bottle top, and apparently I just screw this on instead. Then, before we turn it over, I need to make sure the tap is in the off position. That could be a disaster. Turn it over and stand it on the base. And I've got to say, it looks really cool. Imagine a line of these at a party. But how well does it work? Okay, so it's pouring out really well to start with, and there's so much froth. As it settles, I'll top it up. But look at this. Now the bottle's started to empty, the flow rate has slowed right down. There's hardly any coming out of the tap. I think I know why. To begin with, there's loads of pressure inside of the bottle from the CO2 in the drink. That pressure pushes the drink out fast, but once that pressure has gone, the drink can't flow out of the bottle because no air can come in to replace it. It's trying to create a vacuum at the top of the bottle, but when I bought the gadget, they actually supply me with a pin to make some holes in at the top here. This should now allow air to enter the bottle as the drink flows out of the tap. Let's try it. Well, it seems to work a bit better now. It's not coming out very quickly, but it is working. But look, it doesn't take long before it comes to a dribble, and then came to a stop, even though there's still drink inside it. I think I know why. If you're into science, you might know Pascal's law, which says liquid will find its own level. Even though there's more volume of drink in the bottle, it naturally levels out to the same height as the tap. And that means no more drink can flow out. So it's a pretty poor idea for a drinks dispenser. The only way I can get the rest of the drink out is to unscrew it from the bottle, but there's pinholes in the other end, so it's leaking into my hand. Ugh, what a mess. If we try again with a fresh bottle, and instead of piercing holes at the end, we could just shake the bottle to release CO2 from the drink to keep the bottle pressurized so it pushes it through the tap. But of course that spoils the drink because it releases the bubbles, making it a bit flat. Alternatively, you could gently squeeze the bottle to push the drink out through the tap. But it seems so silly having to do this, and it's definitely not a gadget I'm going to be using again. So needless to say, I'm putting this in the useless category. Next up, apparently this little gadget can cleanly and easily remove the top of a soft-boiled egg. If it works, this might be the most satisfying gadget yet. It comes as 2 pieces with this little silicone egg holder inside the gadget. And if you look closely, you can see some vicious-looking teeth inside the cutter. I'm going to cook 4 eggs to see if this gadget is all it's cracked up to be, or is it going to fall foul of the mark, leaving me extremely disappointed. You can leave me your favourite egg jokes in the comments. I'm leaving them to simmer for 6 minutes, so hopefully they should be nicely cooked with a runny yolk. Then, with precision timing, I pulled them out of the water and placed one onto the holder. And if this works first time, I'm going to be impressed. Sit it on the top and give it a squeeze. And lift it off. Hey, that's pretty good. I've got to be honest, I wasn't really expecting it to work so well. Look at this little piece it's cut off. And the rest of the egg? Yeah, that is neat. But was it beginner's luck? Let's try with a couple more eggs. As you can see, these 2 are quite different in size. But the top of the first one's come off really well. And oh no, I've actually lifted the whole egg out. That's hilarious. But can I rescue it? Ah, it looks good. Yeah, look at those. It's done another really neat job. What's interesting though is this one's left all of the egg intact, and this one took out a big chunk of egg with the top. I'd say that's a 3 out of 3 success rate so far, but can we make it a full house with the last one? That crunch is so satisfying. But oh no, it's actually cracked down the side of the egg. It's removed the top pretty cleanly though, but it has broken the shell. Ah well. More importantly though, is the yolk still runny? Ugh, no, it's overdone. I'm extremely disappointed, but the gadget itself, it's worked quite well, so I'll put this with the others in the useful category. But that gadget was nothing compared to some of the kitchen gadgets I test in this video, so if you want to see what happened, click on the link. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on my future videos, and thanks for watching.